Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salamun ala ibadi alladhina istafa amma ba'd. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the tawfiq and the ability to come early to His house to listen to the words of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Previously, in the previous weeks, we have been doing with regards to the virtues of Makkatul Mukarramah and the different places in Makkatul Mukarramah. Today, inshallah, we'll cover the virtues with regards to Madinatul Munawwarah. Hazrat Jabir bin Samurah radiallahu anhu says, I heard Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam say, verily Allah named Medina Taaba, meaning the good one, or Tayyibah, the pure one. So this was the name given to Medina. Hazrat Sa'd radiallahu anhu reports that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, I declare haram that area lying between the rocky lands on both sides of Medina, that its vegetation should not be cut down, nor the animals be hunted within its area. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam also said, for the believers, for the mu'mineen, Medina is the best place. If only they could understand its virtue fully, they would never leave it. And whoever departs from Medina, having become disenchanted with it, Allah will send someone better to replace him. And whoever bears patiently the ordeals of residence in Medina, meaning the hardships that he gets from Medina, for him shall I'll be an intercession or witness on the day of Qiyamah. So, look what great rewards there are in Medina, that even the difficulties which a person goes through, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, if he bears it patiently, then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will intercede on this person's behalf on the day of Qiyamah. As Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu reports that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Iman shall flow back to Medina as a snake returns to its hole. तो जैसे सांप अपनी घर में दाखिल हो जाता है, इसी तरीके से ईमान मदीना की तरफ वापस आ जाएगा. That means everywhere else, even if Iman distinguishes, then the Iman will return back to Medina in this way. Anas radiallahu anhu reports that the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam once prayed, O Allah, grant to Medina double the blessings that you has granted to Makkah. That Rasulullah sallallahu said, and we done the virtues of Makkah, how much blessings Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted Makkah, that although it being a barren land, a place where there's no water, nothing can grow, but you go to Makkah, you'll get everything there. Whatever you want, whatever fruit, veg, खाने की चीज़, जो भी चाहिए, जहाँ से भी चाहिए, वो मिलेगी आपको. Whatever you want in Makkah, you will get it there, without fail. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made dua for Medina, that barakat which you gave in Makkah, give double of that in Medina. That Sa'd radiallahu anhu reports that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever plans to deceive the people of Medina shall become destroyed as salt is dissolved in water. So this is virtues of people who are staying in Medina. Hazrat Anas radiallahu anhu reports that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever performs 40 salah in my masjid, meaning in Masjid al-Nabawi, not missing one salah in the masjid, for him is granted exemption from the fire of hell, from the fire of Jahannam, and exemption from the punishment, and he shall remain free from hypocrisy. कि आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया, जो मेरी मस्जिद में 40 नमाज पढ़े, एक नमाज भी फोट ना हो, 40 नमाज मुकम्मल नमाज पढ़े, तो उसको जहन्नम के से छुटकारा मिलेगा, कोई अज़ाब उसके लिए नहीं होगा. और हिपोक्रेसी क्या कहते हैं उर्दू में? What do you say for hypocrisy? मुनाफिक, मुनाफिकियत से उसको बचाया जाएगा, निफाक से, दिल निफाक की कई दर्जे हैं, हर निफाक के दर्जे से उसकी हिफाजत की जाएगी। तो देखो कितनी फजीलत है। आमतौर पे जब हम मदीना जाते हैं, when we go Medina, then we stay that amount of days that you can perform 40 salah there. So it's very important to make sure we don't miss our salah. Be in time before the salah begins, so we don't have a problem and we are there for our Jawan. Sometimes obviously we go for ziyarah and that we'll go to places, but to make sure that we be back in time for the salah. Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha reports that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam once prayed thus for the sick: with the name of Allah, the dust of our earth mixed, meaning the dust of Medina, with the saliva from the mouth of some of us, heal some of us. Hazrat Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu reports that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever has the means to die in Medina, let him die there, for I shall intercede on behalf of everyone who dies there. तो कितने खुश नसीब वो लोग होंगे जिनकी मौत मदीना पाक में आती है। Hazrat Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu reports that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, between my house and my mimbar lies one of the gardens of paradise, and my mimbar stands upon my pool of water. जब हम जाएंगे वहाँ तो हम देखेंगे वो टुकड़ा कार्पेट ग्रीन कलर है, दूसरा रंग है दूसरे कार्पेटों से. So that is the rawdah which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has mentioned between his mimbar and the house is the Riyadh al-Jannah. So we should try and perform salah there in that area, make dua there in that area as well. But we should keep in consideration of the adab of the masjid at all times. We shouldn't run in the masjid. We shouldn't push people or cause inconvenience to people. Otherwise, instead of gaining, we'll be losing. Very important. And also, in this area, we should make dua, as much dua as we can for ourselves, for our families, for the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for everyone. And for whatever we need, our needs, we should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this. In this area as well, there are certain pillars in which there are certain pillars have certain fada'il. So all these pillars, there's a Ustuwana Mukhallak, Ustuwana Aisha, Ustuwana Tawba, Ustuwana Sarir, Ustuwana Ali, Ustuwana Wufud, Ustuwana Tahajjud, Ustuwana Jibreel. These are certain places where certain areas, certain incidents happen. Those of us who are going, we should try and read up on these to know the detail about it. One of the pillars, Ustuwana Aisha, is that with regards to if the person reads 2 rakat salah, once Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, and he said that this is also called Ustuwana Muhajirin, because originally the Muhajirin used to sit here at this spot. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to say his prayers, his salah at this spot, and afterwards moved to the place at Ustuwana Mukhallak. It is also called the Ustuwani Qurra. The reason for this is that Aisha radiallahu anha reports that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, in this mosque is one such spot that if people know the true blessed nature thereof, they would flock towards it in such numbers that to pray there they would have had to cast lots. People asked her to point out the spot, to her exact spot, but she refused to tell them. Later on, at the persistence of Abdullah ibn Zubayr radiallahu anhu, was her nephew, she pointed out the spot. Hence it is called Ustuwani Aisha, because the hadith is reported by her and the exact spot was shown by her. It is a fact that Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu and Umar radiallahu anhu very often used to pray here. The Sahaba radiallahu anhum didn't know where this spot was, where this place was, the virtue. So they told Abdullah bin Zubayr that you go and ask your auntie, Aisha radiallahu anha. Ask her, and she will tell you. So Abdullah bin Zubayr radiallahu anhu kept on asking her auntie, and one day he asked, so she told him. So Hazrat Abdullah bin Zubair, when he came out of the house and he went to that spot and he read Salah, so all the Sahaba radiallahu anhum realized this is the spot. So like this, there are different areas, Ustuwani Tahajjud, Ustuwani Wufud, where people who used to come, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to sit and make the istiqbal there. When people used to go out in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and used to come back, he used to take the karguzari. When you go in Jamaat, they take the karguzari, what you did there. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to ask them there at this spot. So there's Ustuwani Ali, where one security guard used to stand there and he used to protect. From there, Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu used to stand there. And thereafter, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that nobody needs to stand here. So he was named Ustuwani Ali. So all these places where they are, it is worth knowing, so that when you go there, then you know this happened here, this happened there. And when we are in Madinatul Munawwara, it is very important that we have to understand this is a place where Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is lying in his grave. Anbiya alayhi salam, they do not die. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps them alive in the qabr. They just, from one place, ek jagah se dusri jagah muntakil hote hain. So they are alive in the grave, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam has said, like previously we have done a hadith, that when a person sends durood upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, one of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum asked, is it true that you are aware, of the durood which is sent upon you? So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, yes, and I also give answer to the durood as well, to the salam as well. Jawab bhi deta hu. So very important when we go and send salutations upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with utmost humility, humbleness, with adab, respect, we go and we send our salutations upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imagine if they said that the Queen was to come here outside Manchester. How would we stand outside? We'd be all standing there with respect, like this. And even if she would walk in front of you, you would be like, out of shame. You'll probably smile and look down because of, the honor that she has. So imagine Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, rahmatul lil alameen, the mercy unto mankind, and the greatest of person to come on the face of this earth. How much respect and adab we should have there, when we are going to say our salam. This isn't respect that we go with our phones and do mobile videos like this and make videos. That's not respect. That's not adab. Respect with humility, with humbleness, keeping your gazes down, and saying salam in a respectful way, that tears are flowing from your eyes. This is adab and respect. Always keep the adab of the masjid in your mind at all times. Don't look what other people are doing. Oh, that person's taking a picture. Let me take a picture. I can keep it as one. No. Switch off the mobile phone. Otherwise, your mobile phone will also ring, and musical ringtone will go on in the masjid as well. So, with adab and respect, we send our salam upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I remember this one incident about someone who had a dream of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is just showing. A person has a dream of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that indeed he has seen me, because shaitan cannot take my form. So this pious person, he saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a dream while he was in Medina, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had told him that, when you go from Babu Salam and you come out the other side, so people are holding their shoes in their hand, and when they're putting their shoes on, he said, people drop their shoes like this on the floor and it makes a sound, with your shoes. That sound as well gives me taklif. That sound of dropping the shoes on the ground gives me taklif as well. So imagine how much adab we should show and respect we should show, that we should. Our asatiza, our ustad, they used to tell us that not only at the Roza Mubarak, even at home or wherever you are, don't throw your shoes on the floor. Place them down. This shoes which you have is also a ni'mat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are people in the world who don't have shoes to wear. And Allah has given you this blessed ni'mat of these shoes, and you throw them like that. What is the sunnah method of putting on the shoes? Tap it on the floor to make sure there's nothing inside it. Place it on the floor with your left hand and then wear it. Not throw your shoes on the ground. So in our deen, our deen is beautiful. It teaches us everything. If only we learn and we understand and we teach others nicely as well, explain to other people nicely as well, that this is the tariqah, this is the method. Everything, we are taught everything in our deen. So this is very important when we go to Madinatul Munawwara, that we, especially the adab of Madinatul Munawwara, we take into heed. And while we are in Madinatul Munawwara, one of the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is that, to the nearest effect, that if a person, when he goes for ziyarah to Makkah and Madinatul Munawwara, if he is going to buy something, then buy it from Medina, so that you support the people of Medina. That doesn't mean you cannot buy anything from Makkah. You can buy your jubba, khamis, whatever you want from Makkah, but also buy from Medina with the intention that you are going to support the people of Medina, and you will get reward for this as well, inshallah. And when we go Madinatul Munawwara, like I mentioned the previous week, the thing to bring back is the dates of Medina. There are certain fadail with regards to certain the dates, ajwa, which has a special fadilat that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, to the nearest effect. I can't remember if it's 3 or 7. I'll have to check it again and let you know. Whether it's 3 or 7, if a person has that many ajwa every single day, then he will get no sickness. Besides death, maut coming to him, he will not get any other sickness. So this is a fadilat of the khajur, of the date of ajwa. Ajwa, kalmi, salbi, ambar, all these dates that we have. We should try and bring these dates back from Madinatul Munawwara. Also in Madinatul Munawwara, there are certain places which we might go for ziyarah. That, for example, one is inside the Masjid al-Nabawi that we mentioned with regards to the different pillars, ustuwanas, and then there are places where the mimbar of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the pulpit of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then where he made imamat, and where Hazrat Uthman radiallahu anhu made imamat. And then after that, there is also the height which the masjid was itself, the platform where the muazzin stands on top to give azan. Where that platform lies, that was the height of the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam at his time. Then also the pillars, there is a certain portion where it says Haddu Masjid al-Nabawi on the top. It's got a gold design with green background on it and gold writing Haddu Masjid al-Nabawi, that this was the area of Masjid al-Nabawi. It was extended to up till in the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then there is also a place on the right which, if someone who knows, then there is a frame, is written Khoqa Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, which means the house of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. So if you measure that frame together with that pillar in line, that is the portion where the house of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu was, where all the doors were closed to Masjid al-Nabawi, besides the door of the house of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. And there is also different, for example, wells in Madinatul Munawwara. One of them is inside the Masjid al-Nabawi, which people who know, they know, but now it's covered up with marble. But it's normally covered up with the carpet, but it's towards the back. If you happen to see it, it's got round marble. This is one of the wells where Rasulullah, there were 3 wells there. I think it was Hazrat Abu Talha radiallahu anhu's garden, where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to go and drink water from. Then there are other wells which probably in ziyarah they take you where the ring of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam got lost. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the ring that he used to stamp his letter, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was illiterate, he used to stamp his letter. After he passed away, it was passed on to Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, then Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, Hazrat Uthman radiallahu anhu. He was sitting by this well and he was playing with the ring, and the ring fell. and it got lost in the well. They took out so many buckets of water to find a ring. They couldn't find it. So there's a masjid built there as well, and the well is there as well. Ziyarat of these places. Then there's Masjid al-Qiblatain as well. The Masjid of two Qiblas. One of the narrations is that they were performing Salah facing Masjid al-Aqsa, where they used to always face before. And then the command came that now you have to face Masjid al-Haram, the Baytullah. So in the Salah, they turned the direction. Look at this. This was, what do we learn from these lessons? That Rasulullah, this was a command of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And immediately, even while they were in Salah, immediately they obeyed and they turned the direction. What we do on the other hand, a command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes, or we are told about a sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we wait. When I get older, inshallah, I will do it. No, from now we have to start obeying the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, following the sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, bringing one into our life. Do we see, in Ramadan, we say Ramadan is the month of changing. Have we seen our life change from the previous Ramadan till now? How much has our outward appearance changed to that of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? We go to Makkah and Medina, we go for Hajj and Umrah again and again. But how much have I, copied the shakl of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and kept the beard? How much have I copied the libas of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the clothing of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? How much have I inculcated the akhlaq, the character of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? All these things, the mu'amalat, mu'asharat, the ibadat, the akhlaq, the business dealings, how I must do my ibadat, how I must deal with people, how I must speak to my elders, how I must be with my family. How much of it have I made like that of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? We have to think to ourselves. So are we improving in our deen, or are we where we are? And even worse is if we're going down, away, more far away. So we have to always take stock of ourselves. We have to take stock of ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give us tawfiq to inculcate complete deen into our lives. Because success is not in part of deen. Success is not in part of deen. Success is in complete deen. If I say that who would want to go to Jannatul Firdaus without reckoning, we would all put our hands up. That all of us want to go to Jannatul Firdaus, the highest Jannah, without reckoning. Bagair hisab kitab, hum sabko Jannatul Firdaus mein jana hai. But how many of us want to make the effort for it? How many of us will strive towards that? We do know if a person does a wrong, he does a haram act, then he can't go into Jannah directly. Because no impure thing can go into a pure place, which is Jannah. So first he'll have to purify himself. Where is the place of purification? So that is why we have to, focus ourselves always. Give ourselves challenges that today I'm concentrating this much in my salah. I can concentrate for one rakat full without my attention going away. By next week, I'm going to make sure that even my second rakat, full concentration, my attention won't go away. Improving my salah. Improving my tilawat of Quran. Today I've learned this many rules of tajweed. By next month, I should have learned another rule and implemented it into my recitation. In everything of our life, how can it become like that of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me the tawfiq, first of all, and all of us the tawfiq to make amal on this. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.